Hey, Crown Content Publications followers, viewers, and supporters. Thank you guys for tuning in again to the Crown Content Publications Services YouTube channel, where publishing and marketing meet, of course. To learn more about our services to assist authors and freelancers in 2022, visit our website, www.contentcrownpublications.com. This is where you can find merch now available for our YouTube channel. We encourage a lot of the authors who get publication services from us or are interested in the near future putting their books in our bookstore to also, get them some merch, show the publication services that help them with their promotion and marketing. If you're interested in becoming a guest on our podcast show, this is our YouTube channel. But if you're an entrepreneur, freelancer, or a small business owner, all of our podcast segments for you guys are free. They are only 20 minutes, but it gives you time to promote and market your business and how you've been staying afloat during the pandemic. So don't hesitate to contact me at crowncontentpublications@aol.com so we can discuss the details, okay? Any artists of all kind, small business owners of all kind, why are we doing this? Number one, our podcast show is absolutely new in 2022, and I would like to grow as a podcast show host myself and pretty much, grow the power of business networking, because through a pandemic, we all experience different setbacks, as you guys know, and the only way for us to know about small businesses we can support or maybe find support for our own small businesses is to keep the power of business networking alive. So we do appreciate you guys' support. Don't forget to give this video a like and a subscribe. Subscribe to this channel, because we are a podcast channel and small business, I can say, that doesn't necessarily seek popularity, but we choose to stick more on the side of authenticity. We choose to work with freelancers who know the importance of authenticity, okay? We have too many people just searching for fame and things like this. Something we coach our authors through when they come to us for publication consultations or services is that, it's going to take authenticity, being real with yourself. Are you just looking for fame? Are you looking for the quick way up? Because, you might not find, but hard work is what we preach. Especially with being an entrepreneur, independent freelancer, and even as an author, like we talked about on the last segment, you've already become an entrepreneur because you wrote your own book. Many people pay ghostwriters and things like this, but when you begin to put those type of services together, distribution, printing, editing, formatting, cover design, when you begin to do these things for yourself, even as an artist, if you're in the music industry, if you're in the film industry, if you're a model, this is the type of stuff that you're an entrepreneur, because you're investing in yourself, okay? But this segment is not about that. Y'all know we have our business segments and stuff like that too, giving tips and even segments. One of my earlier ones I did in February, guys. If you haven't seen it, go back down through the videos and check it out. You might enjoy it. I'm growing as a researcher and as a podcaster and stuff. So y'all's support is definitely helping me. So I appreciate it. But one thing I did go and research, even during the pandemic, is smart ways we can invest in our children. Smart ways we can invest our tax refunds and stimulus checks and stuff like this, So go check those segments out too. But I'm going to go back to the one about investing in children, because we talked about those financial things and investing just in them that way. But see, it's also going to take investing, nurturing, and their emotional health and things like this, because this is how we build a better future. In my eyes, this is how we breed and raise healthier adults. A lot of people think it's just about a mom and a father being in the home and stuff like this, which a broken home can, lead to a broken adult later. And we all, as adults, should probably see that by now, whether you're a second generation adult, third generation adult today, and then some of us millennials have children. So yes, these type of important segments are going to mean a lot to me when it comes to, because we got a lot of bright kids out here, y'all. From my experience working with kids, to having siblings, to meeting all kind of great people in the world, on different statuses. You know, I've heard a lot of different stories in life, and I always knew, I just guess, like you don't hear stories like I do for no reason. You don't go through the things I've been through in life for no reason. And I only get inspired now, but it wasn't always like that. But I get inspired to maybe, you know what, this is bigger than me. This is bigger than me. When we say our children are our future, do we know what that means? But we sit around and talk about how the generation seems so lost, so messed up, and social media changing them. No, it's not social media, y'all. It's these cycles. It's these under the rug topics. What did I start off saying? We're not looking for popularity on this channel. We're looking for authenticity. So when somebody search what to do about their CPS case in the future, Child Protective Services, whatever it's called in your state, hopefully my channel pops up. And then when these channels aren't available anymore, hopefully I have a book out about it, or hopefully I'm doing motivational speeches about this, because I feel like it's important. I don't know another generation of children, y'all, that wore masks to school. It's okay. We don't have to start. We parents, we should be the last ones quiet. I never seen another generation of children have to stand 6 feet apart. These children we have today, all I'm trying to get to is they're special. That don't mean every other generation of children weren't special. But I choose to be extremely sensitive to what they might be going through, even before the pandemic. Extremely sensitive, because I'm going to say it like this. Abraham Lincoln was a kid one day. Some of the greatest people we know, and I brought him up first because people like, I guess I can use him for an example. Everybody that became a great in history was not rich when they were little. They didn't come from rich households. They didn't come from unbroken households. It be these type of babies that can end up growing up doing great things. A part of it is them wanting a change in their life, them wanting to, here we go with that word again, break the cycle in their life. And then a part of it too is they're just destined. They were destined, regardless of what they went through. We talked about the Louis Vuitton story, but I want to do a whole segment on his story too. But he's just another example. And then, since I said in the black community, if you saw the topic of this YouTube channel today, this segment I'm about to do, it said breaking the cycle of using child protective services as a weapon in the black community. And I'm not talking about child protective services. Who's using it as a weapon? Who's using it as a weapon? Because we should all know that for the most part, that coalition, that organization was not created to be played with. I don't think them people went to college and got in their positions to be played with. I don't think those people who have a heart for children, like, that's crazy. I've never worked for them, but it's the path that people with heart for children do go. And I'm not saying all of them in that organization are perfect, but 9 times out of 10, that's their inspiration. You got juvenile detention officers. You got jail officers, but guys, there's whole jails out here for young people. There's whole mental facilities out here for young people. There's not just schools for young people. There's like other people who dedicate their whole lives to the work they do for children. Whether it's as small as working at a child care facility, working at a hospital in the wing specifically for children. A lot of these people got stories. And why do you think they end up in the positions they in? Like I said, it ain't all of them. It ain't, some of them are inspired to go this route for different reasons. Somebody told them at some point in their life, hey, you're really good with kids, whether they had kids or not. You should do this for kids, So I'm starting there. Like, they had an inspiration to help, HELP. That's why they get in these positions. I said 9 times out of 10, so that's probably not all of them. Some of them, like I said, they just feel like they were called there, or this is the route they took in life. But I want to start there first, because I'm talking to the Black community. And to me, it has to be a cycle. Like, when we don't get our knowledge up about, first of all, the history of why something like this was created. Because, see, you got adult protection services. Like them people that be abused in nursing homes, or they be abused in hospitals, elderly, home health care services. There's a whole organization that you can call for that type of stuff. Okay, then you got animal abuse services, hotlines you can call for that type of stuff. And then I'm getting there. You got women hotline services. When you see abuse or something going on, or you suspect it's going on, you can call to try to HELP a situation. Because to me, we finna get to that. The motive of why you calling them, if it's not HELP, if that wasn't in your heart, see, I come from a place, and then really, I ain't finna go there yet, but I'm gonna say that it's like, if your main motive and your intention, because we don't know what their intentions is once they get involved. You just know your main intention and motive is to try to get that child some help, that animal some help, that elderly person some help, whoever you saw in that abusive situation. But boy, when they created Child Protective Services and Black people found out about that. And I want to talk to the Black community. I don't want to talk to them, because they're not the only organization. I just named how many other organizations it is, to help people. When you see something going on from the outside, whether you was a witness or you just suspected it, because suspected is a big part of this topic. Sometimes everything that seems that way ain't that. Black community. Sometimes if you are going to try to help, you need as much information, and that's one thing they do ask. They're gonna ask for all the information you feel like you have, and some people, they let you stay anonymous. This is how much they want to help. If you end up feeling, sensing, or suspecting somebody is in a bad situation, because sometimes that family just need help. Why do we got so many broken homes again? And this is a cycle. Let me start here. Ever since the pandemic and the changes that came with it, domestic violence cases went up. Domestic, something you're familiar with. We already went through our domestic violence segments if you go through my videos. Because I'm just my opinionator. I'm just a speaker. I just can call it how I see it. There's millions of other people out here with their opinions. In my opinion, this is a cycle in the Black community. Black households can be divided many different ways. Let me start there. Can y'all agree with that? Many different ways. And ladies, some of y'all out there know, I'm going to speak for the ladies real quick. We put blood, sweat, and tears to keep a family just like this. Men, some of y'all out there know, you put in blood, sweat, and tears to keep your family just like this. And then, it's probably some babies out there that all they be trying to do is help. In some kind of way, they be feeling like stuff is their fault. Like, why is you even trying to help? Because that's your mother, that's your father, that's your grandparent, that's your auntie, that's your aunt. You just trying to keep everybody like this. I'm talking to the Black community. And the main ones, whether we feel ourselves doing it or not, the main ones that really try to do everything like this end up getting made out to be, y'all don't, somebody out there agree, but I'm one person. I've already heard many stories from around the world. I had to become an author. Because sometimes some stuff I never publish. But sometimes just writing what you feeling during a certain period of history, what you feeling during certain trying times, like a pandemic helps you to vent to yourself, to release it. So you got kids that, maybe they get involved and they just be trying to, and then these are real stories and that's done already been put on the news. Like, it ain't just women losing their lives no more. You got women taking men's lives, and then you got people that get so stupid they take her life and their child's. They take his life and anybody connected to him. Come on, black community. This is a cycle. What is a cycle? Something that go like this. Then when it's still right here, it's gonna go like this. And then when it's still right here, it's gonna go like this. And when it's still, and it's just gonna keep going around. There are healthy cycles and there are unhealthy cycles. Okay? Look, I'm 15 minutes into the video and I ain't even talked about the toxicity of using child protective services as a weapon. Cause I bet you, I ain't never worked for them. I ain't got to ask them the questions I want to ask them. But it's like, I wonder how many false cases they get a year. I need to go look that up too, because it's probably statistics on everything else in this world, about every other circumstance, about every other dilemma about life. Seem like every year they got a new statistic about something, and that's where I'm coming from. The statistics said child abuse cases supposedly rose. Domestic violence cases supposedly rose. So let me use this as an opportunity, because I didn't need to see that homes are being broken up and murders it's getting worse. I didn't need to see a pandemic to know that. But it was interesting to see the statistics of what was going on while the pandemic happened. Now, if you ask me, I'm like, man, it looks like many people, not just in the black community, but many people, like, really were tested. They were tested beyond their limits, beyond their when something like this came about. And we're talking globally. Many people were tested. So you mean to tell me families went like this all of a sudden and statistics rose? How? Shouldn't hardship times bring people like this? Well, the black community already know hardship never did nothing for us where we all come from, but this right here. We don't know how to process our anger. We don't know how to process our emotions. Once we got a grudge against somebody, it don't go nowhere. And then the ones that try to go to church and really get rid of that or something, really get some mental help or get some type of do something about it, they're mocked. This is called a cycle. Because in the black community, grudges have gotten many people hurt. And they hurting people they love. It's stupid. Or they once loved. See, I've seen other cultures of people after divorce, they move on and they both live healthy lives. This is like foreign to a young black woman. I can't speak for everybody. This is like, wow. They move forward with new people in life. This is an example. And they even have new children, and all the children get along. That wife get along with the new wife, the ex-mom, the stepdad. Everybody get along in other cultures. I'm saying for the most part. Because it seems like when it comes to the well-being of those children, there's a lot of adults that are mature. And they understand, like, deep inside, I might not like Sally, but, I love little Jack, and that's his step on. That's his step. Because if it's really about the kids, black community, why we can't let something like grudges go? Who taught y'all that you gotta like or agree with something before you support it? Because look, if a child is involved, everybody should be put. What we used to say, it take a village. When the village start going like this, slowly and slowly and slowly, you don't have no village no more. What do you think? What do you think the children are watching? What do you think the children are feeling? What do you think you're teaching them? But then y'all want to wait till they 20 and older and say, why are they making these choices? Okay, come on, black community, adults, black community, because ain't nothing out here the children's fault. So number one, we got to learn how to communicate our emotions, because it wasn't the children that asked to be here. You might just be the great aunt and say, that child ain't got nothing to do with me, but you're the aunt. Families for generations have worked this way. This is how you're relatively kin to this child. This is how you're relatively kin to that man, to that woman. It's crazy. Like, even dogs, when they have puppies, they recognize that they babies. They recognize that, these are my babies. Just about any animal I can think of. Now, yes, at a certain time, it's crazy. It's like animals, they can just let their kids go because they understand, like, this is the nature, the course of natural life. Like, I had this baby whale, but at some point, this baby whale is going to detach from me and be a whale of its own in the jungle. Animals understand that. But it's a natural instinct. So, forgive me, guys, black community, for just... I think about that. I be like, they can do it. You got other cultures that do it. And then, what's wrong with us? So now, let's jump in. Because now it's 21 minutes in. And I ain't even talked about what this is about. Like, what I just want to voice. I'm just one voice in this world. But it's many other voices. But what are they saying? We all got lips, a tongue, a voice. And I'm sorry if it may. That's the thing about black communities. Boy, if somebody start talking about stuff that people don't want to hear, it's true. It make you feel like there is a real syndrome with us up here. Because how are we ever going to heal again? HEAL. People more, this the time we live in. I'd rather resort to violence. I'd rather resort to messy. I'd rather resort to division. I'd rather, crab in a bucket mentality. Y'all go look at my other video, and it said nothing about children. It was about a whole mentality. How crabs themselves, we would have never came to the conclusion or the saying of crab mentality if it wasn't for money. Why are crabs gathered in buckets in the first place? Money. So are we crabs in a bucket, or are we communities, black people? Are we families, black people? What are we? Are we crabs in a bucket? Because the real crabs, they end up in a bucket because somebody needs to make some money, because y'all love crab legs. You love crab meat. And nobody stopped to think that you're taking crabs from their natural habitat. Now, I'm not a vegan here. I'm not here to advocate that. But you got people that feel sensitive about you killing animals now. And they don't eat meat. My point is, that's really, really coincidental that crab in a bucket mentality, or the whole phrase that's been used for generations, came from something real. And it's been said that when you put them in a bucket, they natural instinct, because see, when you got 5 or 6 of them at the bottom of the barrel, and one naturally is going to end up on top, like, of the other ones. You ain't even trying to do that. There ain't even enough room at the bottom. It's stupid. They just try to crab y'all, gather y'all all in that bucket. It's enough room, but it's like to breathe, people need space. Crabs too. So one of them end up like stepping on another one and all this. It ain't even intentionally. Naturally. You know what the other crabs do? But that, y'all go look at that segment. I talked about it, okay? And it ain't even a new topic. But it's my channel, and it's something that I see could still help society during a time like today. In a pandemic, everybody to me went to crab in a bucket mentality. We was scared. So everybody started trying to step on everybody. This is right, this is wrong, this is politically right, this is what you should do. So if you did something different, they tried to pull you back down to what they think you should do in the pandemic. not just in the black community. The crab in a bucket mentality segment was like really anybody can use. That can happen in a workplace because everybody fighting for one position. Everybody want to be supervisor. Everybody want to make junior partner. So that can happen in the workplace. It can happen in a family. But it can easily become a cycle. And if don't know, a voice is just a voice. But if don't enough people feel that the cycle needs to be broken, then you got that's a real cycle. So anyways, it's like, how does using child protective services become a weapon? Like, it should never happen. And I'm here to tell y'all now, it's not just in the black community. I hope everybody know I'm coming from a place of love for my people. Because if you don't come from the black community, it's not that you're not my people, my type, my cup of tea. It's that you don't know my people like I know my people. You don't know the black community like I know the black community. You don't know the black community like the black community knows the black community. In black community, we all know. Y'all get to places of grudges and spite and hate and jealousy, and it does nothing but this to a family, to a village, to a home. This right here. And it be so powerful. Whether you see it or not, this is happening. And it's like, what's more powerful? A war with 3 versus 1,000, or even a fair war where you got 1,000 versus 1,000, where you had 1,000, but you killed off your own men. This is what it's looking like, black community. You killing your own men. You doing that don't stop the war at hand here. It doesn't stop. And it's probably that house, y'all know what we call it, house such and such mentality. Some was on the field, some was in the house. And some people believe they crab in a bucket. I just want to get, and then forget the village. I ain't gonna be one of those. That's why I'm on here now. It's like, okay, we talked about the grudges, the hate, and the spite, and reasons why people might go there. Let me start this kind of like an educational, informational deal, because I don't think the black community knows. And we complain about how other cultures and other people do us due to our lack of knowledge about certain things, due to what we don't know when it comes to the law, when it comes to our rights, when it comes to, just things in general in life. We are that one culture in the world that, like, it was kind of withheld. We didn't get to move at the same pace as everybody else. I was finna say for 400 years, but for a good 400 years for sure. And then maybe a little before that, maybe a little after by choice. But we don't have to be that. We don't have to be that. We the only group of people that, like, we wonder why we in a certain bucket, why we easily put in there. But until we, like, expand and willing to expand our knowledge about things, how things look from the outside looking in, maybe. Because we've been saying black on black crime for years. That's black on black crime for you to sit on the phone. You're going to go to a march about a man that's publicly killed him by the police. But you one of those secretly and let you feel some type of way. You finna call Child Protective Services and exaggerate. One thing I notice about Child Protective Services, they not gonna question nothing. And to me, that's using them as a weapon, because the black community knows this. They just gonna get the information you tell them, and they gotta at least investigate it. But I want my black community people to know, man, false reports is a whole federal crime, bro. That's why I really don't understand why these services people, they don't be telling who told. They quick to tell you now because, they could start this and that. Don't y'all know when y'all come in people's homes trying to accuse them of, because people be struggling. People be going through things. People ain't perfect. But when you accusing them of more than that, and it's exaggerated, you breaking up a home already. What you mean you're not going to tell me who called and whoop-de-whoop? You already done, because it might cause this and that. You causing this and that when you, number one, coming in people's homes, it's like messing with their rights a little bit, you know. I guess how they come at people could be different, but they do the best they can. And I'll never be against anybody checking on a child. But it just seemed like why we got all these babies missing and coming up harmed. And when I say harmed, it's worse than harmed. Like, why is this happening if y'all doing y'all job? But this is not about them. This is about why would y'all call them? Why do y'all do that out of spite and all kind of... it don't be nothing but emotion sometimes. That's what I was going to say. Do these child protective services people ask people, or it should become a habit? And when these reports first start coming in, look, you can remain anonymous, but let me ask you, what have you done to... Have you tried to intervene any way, shape, or form? Especially when they heard that it's like kinfolks calling. Or they heard it's baby daddy, baby mama calling. You can already see what that is. That's why to me a little bit, them people messy. They not going to tell the person when they go investigate them who told them. But they don't be asking them people like, okay, hold on, who did you say you was to her? Who did you say you was to him? Okay, so when they tell you, and it's like closely related stuff, they automatically assume they know what they're talking about because they closely related. And the black community knows this. I'm just here to speak on it. They don't, what's coincidental, they don't ask like, and what have you tried to do to help before you called us? Whether you didn't want to intervene because you didn't feel safe, or because you know, what if you mama, daddy, granny, sister-in-law, what have you tried to approach? Have you tried to see what she was going through? Have you tried, like, what have you done before you caught? If I was at work, I'm telling y'all right now, like, this would be a real question I ask as I'm taking as I'm taking the report. Look at that. Ain't nothing but the enemy. Cause this is a real topic. It's a real cycle that needs to stop. And then it's probably babies sitting up in orphanages right now out of somebody's spite. If that ain't selfish, or they sitting up with certain family members because they offer false accusations when y'all could have just shared custody and did the right thing and co-parent. But when I do these segments on healthy co-parenting and what it should look like, or knowing our rights, or that you can even give up rights before things get this messy, don't nobody want to hear it. Don't nobody want to hear it. But then when things get messy, everybody calling in child support, attorney general, and child protective services. And let me tell y'all something. This is affecting kids. It was affecting kids in the early 2000s, and the 90s, and the 80s, and however long they've been around. It affects them. I'm sure it got a lot of kids out of terrible situations too. But it affects kids when that's why really a lot of judges don't like separating kids from the mother. They'll tell you that, man, it better be a hard case. I mean, it better come with some, because or a guardian that they can see this child is very attached to and loved and stuff like that. Like, they know what to look for. So all I'm saying, black community, y'all heard me say that it's a whole federal crime. Look what we doing ourselves. It's a whole federal crime for you to sit there and not just falsely accuse, but I wonder, is exaggerating something. That's why it's important that you, like, why put, and CPS workers should look at that. Just about every case they probably got in their files is some extreme purple throw up. I saw the baby vomit purple. I saw the, like, okay. And if you saw this, what else did you do? You just called us? You should have called and got that baby some immediate medical attention type stuff, because you're saying you saw this, because how else would you know? Or did you hear the baby was doing this from somewhere? Like, I would have more questions when it comes to the black community calling on kids. When you got kids coming up literally missing and hurt. When I say hurt, I say it or worse. Didn't I say statistics went up during the pandemic? That means you got people out here taking advantage of vulnerable situations. Everybody had to go along with regulations and mandates. That's not even how you parenting yet. That's not even how you providing yet. That ain't even how you what your daily life look like yet. That's just regulations and mandates. That's why I get passionate about it. Like, hey, now enough is enough. Like, if you was not like helping support either that parent with the child or that grandparent, if you wasn't doing that, but you can secretly, whether people know or not, because really, if your intention of calling them wasn't to live, and y'all, I hope y'all know, Child Protective Services, that's kind of a part of their job too. Help family. Like, they might come into a situation and it's a certain way because of certain circumstances and certain, offer family counseling, offer resources and things like this. Everybody struggling and neglect and abuse, two different things. No support and doing the best you can by yourself, and abuse and neglect is two different things. Looking for support in the wrong places is real too, because you got people that, like I said, they know how to take advantage of vulnerable people. Men and women. They see what you're going through, so yeah, they like, yeah, here's a beer, but really we have to ask ourselves, is that helping me? I know I'm struggling, I know I feel really insecure about myself right now because I'm a parent, I'm going through this, but is this the best you can offer me? I'm just saying, wake up, black people, because anybody doing that ain't really supporting you. So why do it gotta take state workers, children state workers to come into the picture, black community? Or where is the village? Where is the family? Where is that? And this has been a cycle in the black community. Family counseling is real, and it shouldn't take state workers to get involved, but when it do, don't get mad, black families, Take what they offer. And that's another thing, the ones that already know this, they know that when they come, they know it was exaggerated or something, because I don't think that people that call out of spite, they be using it as a weapon because they mad because their baby daddy moved on, or they mad because she didn't do something she wanted. I don't think they understand. I already talked about one part. It's levels to this. False accusations, number one, is a whole crime, a federal crime. That's almost like lying about something that, is stupid. And then number two, when you start up something like that, you starting up an investigation on somebody else's life. This is not about saying that it's wrong to call them on people when you think something is going on. We talking to the parts of the black community that like to do it out of spite, out of envy, out of wherever they coming from. To see you suffer while you already suffer. Because 9 times out of 10, if you had to call them, it wasn't hard for your accusations to be believed. You know why? Because that parent was already suffering. That guardian was already, something is going on. That's why I say, if I was a worker, if I was a caseworker in that position, one of my first questions would be, let me know so far what this situation, like, since you say you seen this with even if you're anonymous, what have you or somebody or somebody at the school done so far to intervene? Even if it's nothing, I would be curious. What have you done to try to support? What have you done to try to help this person through that dilemma? Have y'all sat down and had family counseling? Or, because I would already peep that. Like, I feel like I would peep it just through a series of certain amount of questions. My main point of this, I could care less really about what adults are doing. I'm sitting here wondering how many children's lives and it's sitting in orphanages or sitting in certain places in life that the nature, of course, in life really didn't design them to be in, because somebody didn't want to see their child happy with their parent. Because somebody didn't want it, even if they struggling. You got some people know how to walk around with their head up, with a smile on their face while they struggling, and somebody sitting back like, they just don't like you because of that. How dare she smile? And I know her true, not just her true colors, because the person's true colors if they smiling. Maybe it ain't that they trying to hide what they going through. They trying to keep all the strength they can. And how is that helping them? If you can really be a village Black community, but you calling in services on their kid. I think people be doing it to get their parent in trouble. But my point of this segment is it's affecting our Black children. Whether they're being displaced, it's messing up the households, it's messing up families, it's messing up trust. And people be knowing. They know they can be anonymous. Do not use something that's supposed to help children and mistrust it. I mean, I ain't got to say too much because karma is what it is too. And people, I strongly believe, because sometimes the truth don't always come out about stuff. That's life. One of the memes I saw on Facebook says sometimes, strength is realizing and coming to grips and accepting that sometimes you won't get an apology about things that, that's how some people are. They show you other ways like, hey, I'm sorry, or it never comes. And you got a lot of grown-ups walking around here hurt because nobody told them they were sorry. Nobody apologized where they was wrong. What I call it, a cycle. So now these adults out here doing it to other adults, and they're not going to never apologize either. Because nobody did it for them. So it's a cycle that needs to stop, Black community. We're in a pandemic. We're in the after effects of a pandemic. All kind of stuff going on around the world. If we can't find no better time, I don't know if it'll ever get like this again, but no better time to like some type of village. Not for the grown-ups, Black community. Because that would be nice too. That's why we do these business networking segments. We try to support one another as entrepreneurs and stuff. But the babies, we crazy if we think, y'all would say it yourself, the kids today smarter. I don't think y'all have an idea. As young as 2, 3, they can feel things. They have attachments to people and things. And I don't think we understand, in the long term, what we doing when we so mad, we so upset, we got so many grudges, we can't put them to the side for the babies, for our babies, Black community. You teaching them what you teaching them every time you let your anger rise up, your spite rise up, cause you got a grudge and emotion and you resort to violence or what's they called, discord and division. What are you teaching those babies to do? And some of y'all proud of it. I don't know. All I can do is talk to the Black community from a Black place. Or what am I? What do y'all look at me say? I'm Black, but I understand. That's why I'm coming from this place. Like I done heard too many stories, man. Like somebody told them they was gonna do it. Somebody told them, hey, like these days they will blackmail you with child support cert. Like, and I'ma call them and tell them. I hope Child Protective Services know somewhere. I hope in their secret meetings that they have and weekly board meetings that this is something they discuss. Like we guys, look for certain things because some of these stories are 100% exaggerated. Some of these people is just hurt, they angry, they jealous, and they don't want to see a mother happy with her kids. They don't want to see a father happy with their kids. And it's so bad that now, because you have so many false accusations, I think what's happening, when something really going on, kids is being questioned and cases is closed. And that's why kids is coming up hurt and missing. It's many stories where, reports was made, this was done. But y'all just, But the parents that be trying, oh boy, y'all be all over them like, I'm just saying, we need work as a society. And every culture of people should be working on themselves anyway. Because if everybody working on themselves individually, as a people, you're going to look different anyway. I feel like a lot of kids is suffering right now because somebody is trying to figure out, and these I ain't gonna call them poor babies because you gotta watch what you say, but these babies don't even be knowing, they just born into something. They didn't ask who their daddy was. I talked to a man today. I talk to people everywhere I go. I say, Happy Easter, man. How those girls doing? He got girls. He say, man, they good. I said, what y'all doing for Easter? He say, I'm going to buy them 2 dresses, and many times he mentioned his wife too. He said, I'm going to buy them matching dresses and get I asked him, have you got their Easter baskets yet? He said, no, but we're going to go this weekend. So that's how the conversation started. And I'm like, man, that's cool. I don't know. We got to talk about Easter kids and girls being expensive and things like that because, and estrogen, because when you got daughters, it's a lot of it flowing around, a lot of different attitudes. You got to have daughters to understand. But he is he adopted the daughters he has. So it was like really not my first time running into this particular individual. And it touches me every time. He said, that's something me and my wife decided to do. Black community, listen to me. Him and his wife could have had kids, like made kids together, but they on this level where they understand it's kids already in the system. Hoping a good person, you know what I'm saying, get them out of this situation sooner than later. You know how that looks? Somebody opening their door. Somebody inviting them to come. That's how that looks. And he said, man, their parents don't care. He really wanted to go into more detail. I believe I cut him off. And he wasn't from the black community. And if y'all must know, he wasn't. I don't ask him what race the babies are. None of that. I'm just like, he said, man, their parents don't give, you can tell he almost is moved emotionally, like he get angry thinking about it. He was like, man, these girls got more clothes than me, man. I feel what you're saying about having daughters, and we talk about it in a way that during the pandemic you should. That's beautiful, Sometimes our kids end up with more physical, tangible things in life, and we want to give them that, especially if we know they come from a broken home and their parents don't want them. We want to give them that, and we want to make that love up by doing it or whatever. And they really, to tell y'all the truth, his is young to where they probably don't even understand what an Easter basket is. But him and his wife already own it like that. And he made me think, I said, you know what? I can see myself doing, not just the babies, like little infants, because they be in them homes too, but helping maybe get some teenagers out of there, help them in their last years, because them teenagers be having it worse, man. They be so ready to turn 18 and get out of them state homes. I'm not saying every time CPS take kids, they go to state homes, because sometimes you have families step up. But we all know sometimes that is what it is. Because look, family don't be understanding. When y'all call on people, do you know how you look too? Because you rather just take, because if this person we drug test, they not no drug addict, they just look like they truly struggling, and you rather take them than support them. Black people, I just want y'all to know how this look from the outside looking in to them people. Why would they trust them with you? You wouldn't even help your own kinfolk with the kids. I've heard a lot of different stories to where, sometimes these parents, they still are allowed like visitation and things like this. I don't think the black community be understanding, like, It don't work how y'all just be wanting to, you can never just take that. Even when that child get older, that child might want to go find their parent. It don't matter you raised them and you got your rocks off by messing up somebody's life, breaking up a home like that. It's crazy. If you don't get nothing else at this segment, my point is, it don't matter if you change immediately or not. It don't matter if you think don't nobody know what you're doing. I'm praying for people like that in the world, not just in the black community, but like people who are so hurt that they are beginning to hurt other homes because they just can't, they don't want to see that. Maybe y'all ain't heard it the way I heard it, people's stories. And these are people from all walks of life. They seen that mother was clearly, but all these false accusations and exaggerated accusations is built up because they mad because she chose to go live an independent life. So now we got to make up something because we scared that we going to lose our grip. It's really narcissists, black community. Soon as somebody call themselves, you know what I'm saying? Now they outside of your distance, your view, your control. People have a right to choose their paths in life with their children. And it's just some stories that I have heard, and I don't know who y'all people are, because some of y'all are probably the kin folks of the people that have told me these stories. But the accusations y'all did, y'all wrong, because nobody might not ever for quite some time come out about topics like this on their podcast channels. Don't worry, I'm gonna have some guests soon. They can tell y'all how they feel like their household, their relationship with their children. This stuff is a cycle, black community. Because they feel like before the family would help them, they wanted to cut them. They wanted to hurt them. They wanted to side cut them. They wanted to backstab them. And y'all wrong for using child protective services as a weapon. That ain't right. Them people is if they work because they really obviously they practically portray that they have a heart for children some way, shape, or form. You think they not trained to, once they begin to investigate something, see what's really going on? When a mother begins to pull out papers, when a mother begins to be able to because how you gonna speak on somebody's life better than them? Begin to ride them around. This where they said, this where they talking to teachers for themselves on the behalf of that mother, that father. They talking, stuff come out on its own. So it don't matter what you exaggerate. It don't matter what that's crazy. Don't weaponize what's put here to help children that's really in. They done found kids, y'all, in motel rooms by themselves. I've had to live. I told y'all on my homeless segment how I survived homeless during the pandemic, but people don't have to live out of motel and hotel rooms. I done seen many mothers do it. They might have to do it for certain periods of time, but this helped them get through to their next level. How dare you call child protective services on somebody in a situation like that if you know they trying? But why did I bring that up? Yeah, like I seen people in those type of situations, and they was great mothers. They dared because daddy don't want her. She have no support. I'm telling you, black community, y'all need to get over it. These babies that's involved have nothing to do with who their mama or daddy is. It don't take CPS for you to ask a mother, would you like for me to take that child for a while so you can get on your feet? So I'm getting somewhere. I know what I'm talking about. It don't take child protective services coming into the situation for you to come up to somebody and say, here, I'll take, everybody don't feel comfortable doing that, but because 9 times out of 10 the people end up winning custody or whatever, they the same ones claim like they were so concerned. Why you didn't go to that mother and say, oh, well, she doesn't listen. Is it because she don't? I'm telling you, if I was a caseworker Is it why wouldn't she? If you this or that to her, it got to be something going on deeper. Why she don't? A person just walking around here don't listen to you. Either they don't trust you. Either you have, the trust is broken somewhere. They don't want you telling them about their kids. So yeah, on some levels, maybe they trust them people and whatever they think they can offer. Now, I just want to hear some success stories too. Y'all feel free, because see what I'm doing, I'm inviting entrepreneurs and freelancers to share their stories on my podcast show. This is not the podcast show. This is the YouTube channel. But not about that per se, but it's so crazy how many successful people out here been through that type of stuff too. They already been through it. So I just want to hear from them too, because see, while y'all be out here hating on certain people trying to become entrepreneur, all of that, some of them, this is the best route for them because they didn't have support. They say, I'm going to work for myself. I'm going to start selling shower curtains. I'm going to start selling water bottles if I have to. I'm going to start doing car washes from my front yard house. And I'm going to do this for myself. I'm telling y'all, it don't matter. Like a person that's targeted, it don't matter what they trying to do. Whoever trying to take them kids, black community, they gonna find some. Oh well, she doing car washes, but she just don't want to go to work. Hold on. If I was a CPS worker, so you mean to tell me from 9 to 5 every day, she had you right there so she could go to work? Because 9 times out of 10, if you got kids too, you got your own life, it's something you got to do from 9 to 5. You might be available some days, but what does she have to, it's crazy, y'all. It'd be the same ones. And if I was a caseworker, I'm asking you all kind of questions when you make that report, because see, I might have to refer back to you at some point during that investigation. I got to put some things together. What you told me when you put this call in, I got questions to ask you. How long has this been going on? Did you let this go on 2 years, then you called us? And then if you did, why did you wait so long? I got all kind of questions. Did you, and what are you to this person? Hey, you can be anonymous, but what are you to this person? Because if you close enough to see what's going on in their life, you was probably close enough to help. So even if it got to go to the level of me taking the children out of that home when I get there, you would be the last person I put them with, because if you close enough to this person, I'm talking family-wise, because we talking about villages, right? If you close enough to where you can report all this, and I might ask other questions. Well, where the other family? They might have to tell the truth. Her baby daddy don't help. Her baby daddy, granny, cousin, junior, cat, dog, they ain't helped her with nothing. Her great granddaddy Joe died too. Get to know people and what they going through. They go on the side of Child Protective Services out here, and then step up if y'all gonna call yourself like this. What y'all do? Cause y'all getting. Some people do have the wrong impression. That's why they calling y'all. They think your only job is to come displace children from homes. And sometimes y'all have had to do that. Sometimes they know they have to work with a family. You know what I'm saying? That's why the case be open. Hey, you take these classes, because they want to see. They want to see what's going on for themselves. All y'all little bickering word of mouth stuff to them only goes so far. Once again, they may have to turn back around to you and refer to you again just to see if something add up. Don't start what they used to say, don't start none, won't be none, or don't start nothing you can't finish. Make sure your motive and your intentions ain't nothing to worry about from there. They come back to you and say, well, man, we didn't find this today, woo, woo, woo. And you say, okay, well, this is what I thought, because they make mistakes too. They leave homes, and it really be a whole situation. It be a whole situation going on. That's what I'm saying. They not perfect. To me, they overlook the wrong things, and they really pressure The ones that's really trying. They love their kids. They probably wasn't ready to be parents. As a lot of us weren't, Black community. They weren't ready to do, well, you know what I'm saying? So if y'all ain't stepping up as grannies and all this to, and it's a lot of grandmothers. I don't know why grannies came out, but you got a lot of grandmothers that have, and they out here. When it comes to the Black community, they have stepped up. You know what I'm saying? They have stepped up, and that's a whole cycle. These babies have babies young, and these grannies step up. Then you got some that say, you know, they want their daughters to learn the hard way, or their sons to learn the hard way. That's your responsibility. Okay, if it's not promised, or you see them struggling with their responsibility, I just feel like you should be the last one. And I hope this ain't going on out here. You should be the last one calling about something you hate, anonymous. You know, that's backwards. That's backwards. So if we don't fix ourselves, y'all calling that black on black crime just off murder, it's kind of like premature death. You leading them to bad paths in life when you are breaking up homes. When you causing division, discord, confusion, just because something ain't what you think it should be. Because you got a lot of stiff neck, uppity. And this, I don't have to lie, y'all. I'm in whole groups, like women support groups. I never seen a time like today where so many young women are being attacked by their own mothers. I don't know. And I know it's something. To the point where you got men seeing it. Like the men they went is trying to do. They trying to be men and provide and also fill voids. It's a cycle. It ain't new. But I'm saying when you let something go on and it's an unhealthy cycle, it just gets worse and worse. People love talking about it, what they saw on the news, chit-chatting about her next door. But the problem, society, in black community is that we're really not a village anymore. We don't care to step up. It's, of course, still some good citizens in the world. Cause I know personally, like, I was helping people when they didn't know what was going on behind the scenes of my life. And then a lot of them still think they know everything. But that's the type of person I always be. Like, I can talk to you for 8 hours about my life. This is how I really feel. And you still don't know everything. But you got the type of people that, well, I talk to her 8 hours, so, you know, I know. You still, facts is facts. If you wasn't there from 0 years old, 91 to 18, you just don't know me because you didn't get to know me through them years. And then if you knew me them years, but you ain't been around through my adult years, you still don't. You know that me. You know my youth, but you don't know the elder day and what my youth led to. That's why I know what I'm talking about. Dividing because a relationship didn't work out. Black community, we gotta do better. Well, I don't like this side of the family. It's kids involved. It always was, it always will be, because y'all ain't stopped making them. You know, how dare some of y'all say, well, my kids grown, ain't no other kids in the world is my responsibility. Until citizens of this world, humans, see that different. People think we just be out here trying to preach love, preach moral ethics, preach character. It kind of matters because if everybody feel like their responsibility is going through, like, you know, technically that's true. But why wouldn't you at least go visit, be a strong arm, be a shoulder to lean on for an orphan who has no mother at all? You know, go visit the nursing homes who kids don't come see them at all. You know, like, get involved. Even if you can't get to that stage yet, it's always somebody in your community that's homeless walking the streets asking for it. You know, stop and hug somebody sometimes. Yeah, but everybody complaining about the state of the economy, the state of all these crazy crimes going on. But what are we doing one individual at a time? I'm not just talking about black community no more. society, what are we doing one individual at a time to make a difference in this world? Yep, it all sound good when Aristotle, all these people in life, Shakespeare, and all these people who had these theological ideas about what the average, well-rounded human should look like. We individuals who make our own choices every day. I'm not mad at nobody, but why would we think our job is done on earth essentially when it comes to the children that are our future? You see, you did a great job with your children. That's cool. I know people that do this for real. Just because they children grown don't mean they ain't stepped up in no other child's life, because they know they're blessed. They know they're fortunate. Even if they don't adopt that child, they might go visit and help and do things because they see what that mother is going through. Then you got people that do that. Like, the support you get from everybody not going to be good. You know, that part. But I guess I'm trying to say I have been blessed by strangers. I have, yeah. Like, I was in the store one day. It wasn't even that I didn't have the money. This was recently. My card was locked. And I forgot the pin because it was a new card. Like, you lose a card, you order a new card type of deal. And it just practically got to the point where I literally had to call my card servicer, and it was going to be a process. So I just stood to the side. Like, the cashiers probably see that type of stuff every day, but that was something real. I'm telling them, I ain't got no reason to lie to you. Ain't no way. I'm not the type of parent come all the way up here to this store and I know I ain't got the money. I'm telling you that. And they had saw me a lot, so they believed me, but the whole time I'm on hold with the card people trying to get everything straight, a lady comes back in the store, y'all, and she say, I'll cover it. She didn't ask me how much it was or nothing. We always say when those type of situations happen, like, man, if I knew that was going to happen, I would have got. You always get what you know you can pay for, even when somebody behind you end up paying for it or whatever. But I really didn't even want her to do it, y'all. Like, it made me mad, so I'd be having to pray about myself sometimes. Because why would I get angry about somebody? Because nobody was listening. I'm like, I have the money. I'm having an issue with my card. They're more like, yeah, whatever. We're going to take care of this. I'm like, no, you really don't have to do that. But she did it. And I don't know. That might seem like a little story, but it's an example of how a stranger stepped. Maybe that lady's kids was grown. She remembers being in that situation sometimes. One act of kindness a day slowly helps other individuals in life. It slowly helps society. I'm proud of society too, because see, it's things that had to happen for me to see society in some areas pull together like they should. What I'm saying is it shouldn't take extreme stuff for us to be those type of people as everyday human beings. So anyways, y'all, this will be part 2. This will be part 1. I'm gonna do a part 2 because I'm gonna do a part 2 of just me talking. But y'all, I'm gonna have a podcast link in the description section, because I do want to talk to some entrepreneurs. I'm talking to entrepreneurs anyway, but that may have actually had experience with that. Well, we're not here to talk about child protective services. We all know what their job is, to talk about, as parents, our experiences. You know what I'm saying? How you overcame the experiences when you knew you were trying to do all you could, and later on you ended up possibly a successful entrepreneur. Because that's all it was. You can't make the hours. You can't make the shifts. You don't have transportation. You don't have support. You know, Child Care Association is making you go through a whole list. They got a 12 list of things you got to do just with them alone to keep that on. Plus you got to keep 40 hours a week. People think government assistance is not, like, it ain't the 70s no more, y'all. You ain't just sitting up on government assistance. As a matter of fact, because y'all reported so much black community in times past, they have really changed a lot. They make you go through hoops, holes, fire hills. You're gonna have to really prove I don't know, that you deserve it, that you really try. And some people do be, and they still can't meet the quotums and qualifications of this stuff. So they either get put out, they either get put off of it, not put out, because you can still pay rent if they cut it off, or I don't know, they fall into deeper holes and ditches, because it's like they get depressed. They like, man, I trusted this whole program, and they knew, and I told them so much about what I'm going through and what I'm trying to do, and they'll tell you that, hey, rules are rules. If we're gonna give you this what you gotta do, and that be that. Supervisors, let's be a little more understanding out there. When people tell y'all they got kids, it's a pandemic. You know. And people in general, be sensitive. You ain't raised no kids through no pandemic. A lot of y'all haven't. So why is y'all calling child protective services on? If you really, really don't, number one, if you ain't did nothing to I'm talking about when you see whatever you think is going on, you ain't did nothing to truly, and you know in your heart you have it. Why would you make a person's life more challenging? Because see, they might have things they have to begin to take them through. You seen what they was already trying to do. They might have things they take them through to get through, to, you know. And a lot of y'all don't know, these people have helped people. They've helped people, right? They see what they're going through because it took them getting in an investigation. Because resources be out here before they even come investigating. They see that, oh, well, you trying with housing, you trying with child care, you trying with this, you know, you got resources, so what's the problem? You let them figure that out. In the meantime, black community, what happened to the village? What is all this discord, confusion, spite, hate, jealousy, anger from 30, 20, 15 years ago? Because the same things happen in life too. It's a cycle. People get older and older and older, and then they die. And then what? And then what? Your anger means nothing. They gone, or you gone. You taking it to the grave with you. A lot of black people be doing it. Or they wait till they on they dying bed, deathbed, to say, like, it can be better than that. To tell secrets, or tell how they really felt. Like, no, you learn to communicate while we all healthy, while we all breathing, while we all have, if we don't have the mental capabilities to get past things, guys, that's why help is here. But don't call people crazy for going to church. Y'all wrong for that, black community. They didn't say they was a Christian, they was perfect. But why is you gonna even judge the help they seeking? Y'all affecting the village. Y'all affecting black on black crime is also dividing families. Because once that woman is alone and single mom, she's vulnerable. Once a black man is out here by himself, do y'all know how much temptation and just stuff is out here? You know what I'm saying? For them to try to stay protected from too, to try to stay on the right road, to try to keep their head straight. Like, I ain't saying that a black man can't make it alone. I'm saying, to me, it's unnatural. It's unnatural for a black man to have kids in this world and somebody to constantly be trying to keep you, whether it's the mother, the family, whoever, both ways. That is unnatural. Like I said at the beginning, dogs know they puppies. Boy, try to mess with a dog puppy when that puppy first born. You know, it's unnatural. Every owner of a dog, even if they're dog breeders, they know to give them puppies time with their, you know what I'm saying? That's kind of like calling child protective services on a dog who just had puppies. Yeah, that dog's struggling. She ain't gonna be able to move as fast. She ain't gonna be able to, you know, she's in a period, because you don't see a lot of dog dads there unless they're forced to be there. Think about it, guys. Because this is like, now for animals, that's like natural. You know, they breed. They don't really owe a commitment to that dog or nothing. But when you're talking about lions now, you might actually see a queen and a male lion that stay together. It's crazy. Like, but do we know we can? There's a life lesson in every natural thing, every other natural course in this world, and I feel like it's here for us to see that. The sun knows its job. It's going to rise and it's going to set. The moon knows it don't stay out all day. It knows its job. Why are we trying to fight each other in our positions in the village? Why are we trying to fight each other like crabs in a bucket? We humans, black community, that's still black on black crime. Attacking each other's black homes, families. And that's my man, that's my man. Y'all gotta, yeah, it's gotta be somebody out here for everybody. That part. Okay, and we would know that. That's why I say I'm gonna do a part 2. We would know that if we go ahead and get married, stop having babies out of wedlock. Like, I know none of us is perfect. So once again, if we know the cycles in the black community, as long as y'all keep that going, it only get worse. And then you showing it to your children for their future. And see, they might, a lot of time how it happen, we joke about it. I know they say the apple don't fall too far from the tree, but sometimes the apple be worse. It be 10 times worse than what you thought you was doing to somebody. And somebody might not take that as lightly from your child. But it's like a whole curse you just started. A whole cycle. So if times get worse every generation, and your child trying to be on the same thing they saw you do, but they end up 10 times worse with, the next person might not take that so lightly. Like, are we looking at it that way? Thank you guys for tuning in to another segment with the Crown Content Publications YouTube channel. If you enjoyed this topic discussion, give this video a like. If you didn't, give it a dislike, right? I mean, I'm just here for the support. I'm here to not only bring the power of business networking back in the black community, but with entrepreneurs in general, and to get, you know, the place I come from when it comes to black people, build that too, like villages, communities that we can trust, that we can find strength in. I'm not saying they not out here, y'all. I'm saying that people wear masks really well, and wearing a mask is not fully showing your face. It's not fully healing. Go on and show your faces, black community. Let's heal. Cause see, we was all hurt somewhere, and it's just one of those things I thought about. Like, this needs to stop. This needs to stop. Some of y'all, baby mama, baby daddies, the new girl don't like her, so she calling on your baby mama fathers. You sitting back letting that go on, that's crazy. Because you don't like her either, but you got kids by. You're not thinking about the kids when you do that type of stuff, because that child might love their mother. And you think you're a better fit for a child, but you can't even respect the natural cycle of who that child came from and why that child loved it. I'm telling y'all, many kids grew up in orphanage and still went to go seek their mother or father out, and they heard they was drugged out or whatever. But that's a natural instinct for people to want to know where they come from, want to know the person they come from. You can't stop that. What you gonna do when that person become an adult? You real evil if you trying to keep them from them as adults. It's like you can't stop that. Thank you guys for tuning in, and until next time.